welcome you all to this class related to Professor M.N. Srinivas approach of studying Indian society. At the outset, I would like to tell you the fact that Professor M.N. Srinivas is regarded as the doyen of sociologist in India, the titanic figure of sociologist in India. His approach of studying Indian society is basically structural functionalism. Structural functionalism always gives emphasis on adopting field view for studying Indian society. There are two diametrically opposite approaches for studying society. One is the book view, that is the scriptural view that has been adopted by Professor G.S. Ghure, the teacher of Professor M.N. Srinivas. Its opposite approach is structural functionalism, that is the approach of Professor M.N. Srinivas, because M.N. Srinivas has conducted lots of experiments, particularly in Rampura village of Mysore state, in today's context, that is the Karnataka state. That's the reason his approach is called structural functionalism. Apart from that, structural functionalism has also another meaning. Structural functionalism is an approach by which it is thought that all the elements of society are interconnected and interrelated. All the elements of society are working in such a manner that unity or integration is brought in the whole society. Professor M.N. Srinivas' contribution to Indian society is really endless. Why? Because first of all, he has made a discussion related to the mobility within the caste system. For that purpose, he has introduced a concept that is called Sanskritization. Defining Sanskritization, Professor M.N. Srinivas says that Sanskritization refers to the process of socio-cultural change by which a low caste people or a tribal group of tribal people or a group of people standing at the bottom of Indian society, they are standing beyond the fourfold division of Hinduism, that is the untouchable people. They are following the way of life of the higher caste, comparatively the twice born caste, that is called Sanskritization. The second contribution of M.N. Srinivas for studying Indian society is basically Westernization. And by Westernization, Professor M.N. Srinivas means the impact of around 200 years of British ruling on Indian society and the changes that took place in Indian society. The next contribution of M.N. Srinivas for studying Indian society is dominant caste. What is a dominant caste? Dominant caste is a caste in a particular locality which is possessing majority portion of the agricultural land in its hand. Its ritual hierarchy is comparatively higher, if not highest. It's having numerical strength. It's having influence in matter politics. Apart from that, its members are also having higher representation in the government job. And finally, its members are also having substantial urban source of income. Then the next contribution of M.N. Srinivas for studying Indian society is village studies. M.N. Srinivas conducted extensive studies about village, and he says a single village study is more worthy than studying hundreds of villages through books. And obviously he studied the Rampura village. He has written many books related to village studies like India's villages, remembered villages, that I will discuss in detail later. Apart from that, Professor Srinivas has also made a discussion with respect to the study of Indian society that is called yours secularization. What is secularization? Professor M.N. Srinivas says the impact of religion in modern India is reducing. The things which were earlier regarded as sacred are no more regarded as such in today's India. And finally, Professor M.N. Srinivas has also made a detailed discussion with respect to future of the caste system. Generally, we think that in future caste system will be vanished. But Professor M.N. Srinivas, by conducting studies in different parts of our country, makes a conclusion that a time will never come in the social landscape of our country while caste system will be vanished. He is of the opinion that today in modern India there is caste-based reservation which is persisting. Today in modern India, more number of people are demanding to be included in OBC. So while this and during the time of election, voters are also mobilized in the name of the caste. Political parties are also considering the caste background for the purpose of giving party ticket to the aspirants. So as long as these considerations persist in the political scenario in the reservation landscape of the country, how caste will disappear? Rather, Srinivas says, yes, earlier caste was the hallmark of social placement. And today it is not the hallmark of social placement. In certain aspects, particularly in ritual dimension, caste system has been weakened. But in secular dimension, caste has not weakened. Rather, in secular dimension, caste has been strengthened. And considering the role of dominant caste like Okaliga and Lingayat in the politics of Karnataka state, the erstwhile Mysore state, in a very lighter manner, Professor M.N. Srinivas concludes that once upon a time the Mysore state was ruled by the mythical ruler called Mahisasura. But in today's context, Karnataka state is ruled by the real Asur, that is called Kastasur. Therefore, Srinivas concludes the fact that yes, in certain dimensions, caste is weakening, that is in ritual dimensions, but in secular dimension, caste is not at all weakening. This is in a nutshell all about Professor M.N. Srinivas' contribution to the study of Indian society and a detailed discussion related to Srinivas' approach of studying Indian society by adopting structural functionalism will be made in my subsequent video. Thank you. Thank you a lot.